Greetings. Here I am riding around downtown Oakland. We used to call Oaksterdam. I worked in Oaksterdam on the third floor back in the day. Yeah, good times. But it's almost Christmas. A lot of people are out and about shopping and stuff. And I'm pretty sad. I don't know why. It's got a super sad feeling. Just by myself a lot. That's okay. Got to get used to it. You know what I mean? Schopenhauer. Got to toughen up. You're used to being alone a lot. Never bouncing your ideas off of someone else. Never sharing your experiences with someone else, your observations. That's okay. That's the way it goes. No big deal. But Oakland has this big, beautiful Black Panther museum. And it now has nice, big, new lettering. Black Panther Museum. The sad thing about that, though, uh, is that it's kind of like, are we admitting that the Black Panthers are just in the past? Is it all in the past now? There's no well funded and beautiful Black Panther soup kitchen downtown. There's no Black Panther induction center downtown. There's no place where they have meetings and people can come over from West Bay Food Not Bombs and meet with East Bay Black Panthers. There's none of that. None of that happening, indicating current activity or current Black Panther organizing. What there is beautiful museum to the past. And that's really, I think that's kind of sad. It's got the chair, Huey P. Newton. I can see the building where Huey P. Newton was in on the other side of Lake Merritt. It's got the famous wicker chair of Huey P. Newton. It's got some other nice articles and signs and posters. And I'm glad it's there. You know what I mean? And it looks like it's super well funded. It looks like, a lot of that just mysterious funding that came into Oakland right around the time of the George Floyd protests. There was just tons of money that was given to those protesters and given to sort of like 501c3 kind of mural painting, and paid for a lot of paint. A lot of weird stuff happened. None of that turned into anything permanent for Oakland residents. But it was a lot of money was spent. A lot of beautiful murals were painted. Some of those murals are still up. Most of them aren't. But that Black Panther Museum was kind of opened right around that time, and I want to say 2020, something like that. I think it was there before. It wasn't staffed. It was rarely open or something. But anyway, it kind of came into view, into public eye consciousness then. Had a big, beautiful mural. There was a big quote by Nina there. Nina Simone. Giant quote painted on the side of it, a big mural. And then now it's got this beautiful new lettering, Black Panther Museum. So that's cool. But it does feel like it's in the past. Oakland is pretty much run by real estate lobbyists. Right now, people in real estate that lobby for the real estate industry still kind of run most of Oakland. And some of the corrections lobby and the police lobby. There's different lobbies that have power downtown. For a while, some of the surveillance tech people were lobbying here. SAIC was lobbying here, and they were trying to get a fusion center. Fusion Center was opposed and denied, but they kept coming back. I think they kind of have it now. Flock Safety definitely has been able to install a bunch of cameras, surveillance cameras in Oakland. So that's nice. So we have no expanded hours at the library for youth. There's currently there's not one copy of Malcolm X's autobiography at Oakland's downtown main library. Not one copy. You can't find a copy of Childhood's End by Arthur C. Clarke at the Oakland Library right now. And if you're a student and you want to stay in there and read and do some homework after into the evening time, it's also not available because the library closes. So that's sad. The library is closed. It never quite opens in the early morning. It's just not open. It's not available for people. So if you needed the library, like there's places in there where you can print. I can't print at home. I don't have a printer at home. I sometimes use the library for printing, especially when I was really looking for jobs. I was using that a lot. I needed to print stuff out. But let's say you have an appointment at 9 and you need to get something in print before that. You're not going to be able to do it at the Oakland Library. Won't open until 10. So the library's not open very much, not stocked. But, there's a beautiful new museum and there's some murals and there's some really well-funded charter schools. Some of the charter schools downtown, especially if they have an identity angle, an performative art angle and identity politics mixed in with their name and mission, they have funding. They're funded really well until whatever private donor or foundation decides not to fund them. So that's a big part of that school is now doing development, right? Doing things that please the donors, doing things that appeal to the donors. It's much like the environmental movement, just got taken over by the donors, right? And turned into nothing. So that's sad. What we want is public education, well-funded public education that's open to all, respects all. You can say silent prayers at public education. No one would ever could know that you're praying. But then the public education itself is not going to push any one form of prayer on to kids or any of that kind of BS. It's supposed to be kind of a secular, democratic institution, just teaching history and math and art and skills. Public education, which also includes some critical consciousness, education for critical consciousness, and humanities. But yeah, that's not the trend. That's not happening. OPD seems to really be hurting. They're not funded very well now that their big focus is Trump because funding got cut for the federal portion of whatever they do. And so there's just no focus on anything that matters. Yep, that sucks. 'Cause I'd actually like to be a teacher now. At this point, with the level of injuries in my body and everything, I'm going to have to do that pretty soon. The question is where? They wouldn't have me at most places now. With my ideas, the way I think, the things I believe in. I still believe in the Constitution, for example, the American Constitution. I believe in that over the need to, flood the neighborhood with Somali refugees or something. To me, I think let's defend the Constitution. Somali refugees can be fine. They can be integrated in certain numbers into this neighborhood. If it's kind of a takeover, replace, and we hate you thing, then that's not good. That's not positive for Oakland. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of good direction here lately. Barbara Lee is our mayor. She has shown she's pretty sycophantic to the corporate powers that have taken over the Democratic Party. They pretty much captured her mind and imagination as well. She seems to harp on a lot of their themes, a lot of anti-Trump, a lot of focus on personality politics, cult of personality. Who's good? Our tribe good, your tribe bad. We're morally good, you're white supremacist, a lot of that kind of stuff. Not much in what are we going to offer for the youth of Oakland. You got a distressed 17-year-old East Oakland. The people out on his corner there at East 17th Street probably not good people. They're not trying to make him be involved in good things. He could get away from them if there was a safe place for him to go, i.e., a library staffed with sober adults that stays open until maybe 9 p.m. But that's not possible for him. The library closes at 5. He can't, it's not there. It's over. And so that's sad. I want there to be something there for that 17-year-old who's having some trouble, a place for him to go where sober adults that don't have a weird agenda. They're not trying to hurt him or hump him or sell him or any, they really want to help him. And they keep a basketball court open at night, or they keep a library open at night, and it's a safe place run by sober adults that would be safe for youth. And so far, not here, not happening. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody seems to care. There are grants and specific grant proposals and things for little cool little charter school little thingies, get their little, and we're doing cool, we're totally purple hair art fair, art fair, purple hair art parade, totally cool, totally transgender youth, everybody just totally being trans, weird purple hair. There's tons of that. There's tons of that kind of stuff, and it seems kind of empowering in a way. It also seems kind of alienating and distracting, or I don't know, kind of not the thing. It's not real skills. They're not teaching these kids real skills where they're really going to compete with somebody who really knows math. You know what I mean? In fact, they've discouraged math. Math is racist, according to a lot of the new thinking. So it's problematic. But here we are, December 19th, supposed to be the big day for AI Atlas. So far, it's big nothing. All the people that were going to stream about it and all this kind of stuff, they're all talking about the past and characteristics of AI Atlas. I still think it's an interesting interstellar object that came into our solar system and is now speeding out of our solar system. Maybe it's going to do a little something by Jupiter, and then it's on its way out at a high speed. So that's over, pretty much. And we're heading into Christmas 2025, and seems like Trump people have been totally captured. Hegseth and them have totally captured the Trump team, and where they were for peace, now they're just for regime change. They're trying to do a regime change in Venezuela, which is just totally stupid and dumb, and Tulsi Gabbard's totally absent on that front. She's not opposing it. Now that Trump is the one doing the regime change, she seems to be really silent about it. That's totally lame. That totally sucks. So the Republicans are super stupid, super captured, almost as bad as the corporate Democrats. I guess one of the differences is still that when the Repugnantards are captured by corporate elites that say they want to destroy the world and do Third World War and drain every hole of every inch of oil they can and all that kind of stuff, they're just doing what they say they're going to do. But see, the Democrats they're so distasteful because they pretend to be pro-labor, they pretend to be pro-environment, they talk up this climate change and all this kind of stuff. And then they go and turn around and get right in bed with the frackers. Just boom, okay, frackers. Climate change. When it comes to poor people, when you can drive your car, we're going to tell you about climate change. When it comes to blocking frackers, no, kids can't do it. Gavin just loves frackers. Loves that fracking money. California is fracked like you wouldn't believe it. The Central Valley. But yeah, it's been interesting. It's been interesting. There's been some interesting solar activity. I think it's mostly over now. Real big solar flares and lots of lights, northern lights. It's been kind of beautiful, interesting. I think that's kind of waning now. I'm not sure. Leading to a lot of powerful earthquake activity. But yeah, here we are, December 19th. One day before the solstice, or a couple days before the solstice. And I'm probably not even going to publish this video. All right, have a good one.